Good day, -7 at 7:33 at Calgary International Airport. Good morning, everyone. We begin today with breaking news. RCMP reporting this morning the St. Albert Mountie, who was shot in the head while investigating a vehicle theft north of Edmonton, has died. 42-year-old Constable David Wynn never regained consciousness after he was wounded very early Saturday morning. Wynn is survived by his wife Shelley and 3 sons. Deputy RCMP Commissioner Marianne Ryan says in a statement the force has lost a dedicated member in the line of duty. There will be a full regimental funeral. No date, though, has been set yet. The shooting happening outside the Apex Casino. Here it is in St. Albert. A second officer was also shot. He has since been released from hospital and is expected to fully recover. The suspected shooter was found dead near the crime scene. It's now 7:33. The Edmonton Police Hate Crimes Unit is investigating vandalism at a Jewish temple. Messages like "Leave Canada" and other explicit phrases were spray painted on the Beth Israel Synagogue. This is in the Westridge area of Edmonton. This is the 3rd time this temple has been vandalized recently. The last time the Hate Crimes Unit, though, was called in was a few weeks ago to investigate similar graffiti on a Sikh temple.
People are worried about safety. I mean, we know what's gone on in France and other parts of the world as regards this. To me, the sad thing is that why is it occurring? I mean, we all Canadians, we uphold our Canadian values, we practice religious, ethnic, and other tolerances, and yet we are told to get out of Canada. But I think maybe the guys who are writing the stuff on the wall, maybe they're the ones who are not following the Canadian way of life, the Canadian credo, and maybe they should get out of Canada.
Speaking of what happened in France, in Paris, 4 men suspected of providing logistical support to one of the Paris gunmen have been charged now with associating with terrorism. These are the first charges coming down for this month's mayhem that left 20 people dead in France. The 4 men were arrested in the Paris area, and the city's prosecutor today outlined a web of phone calls, shared keys, and prison friendships. 3 men are suspected of buying weapons, one of them keeping them at his house for the man who killed a policewoman in Paris the day before, killing 4 hostages at a kosher supermarket. It's now 7:35. Amidst the slumping oil prices and job cuts, Fort McMurray International Airport continues to grow. Since the expanded airport first opened in June, officials have seen about a 10% growth and had a very busy December, by the way, with 8% increase year-over-year in passengers and flight volumes. The numbers for January are not in yet, but the charter terminal has seen a slight decrease in growth. In spite of that, the airport is expecting to expand even more.
We're hoping to add an attached hotel. We're expanding our food court, including a Tim Hortons, which should be coming up pretty soon. We're all excited about that. And yeah, just looking forward to growth to match our growing community.
Officials say the planned expansion will go ahead even with oil prices continuing to fall. Time to focus on business. Our business editor, Mike Eppel, joining us now. Mike, we are all waiting this morning to hear from the Bank of Canada.
Yeah, and what the Bank of Canada will say, if anything, about the falling price for oil, or will they be vague about their predictions for where they figure oil will be? Because it was just 3 months ago where the Bank of Canada said that oil, probably hold around $85 per barrel. That was the prevailing wisdom last fall by our federal government, most economic forecasters. No one saw the precipitous drop to come of more than $30 since that point in time. The central bank may reduce global and Canadian economic growth projections today, but by how much? Do they come down from the 2.4% to maybe as low as 2% economic growth for this year? Or do they go sort of in the middle and say, we'll wait and see? No one's thinking interest rates are going anywhere anytime soon. We're looking maybe now to 2017 before the central bank in Ottawa even considers moving interest rates higher. It's all had a dramatic implication on the Canadian dollar, which yesterday was down over a cent to a 5.5-year low, 82.5 cents US, $1.21 on the exchange rate. How much more expensive to go to the US or buy American dollars? Now, the price for oil, incidentally, I want to mention that it is up by over 2% this morning because Iraq's oil minister at a conference in Kuwait said, you know what, oil's probably reached a bottom. The sell-off has been maybe overdone. Again, that's one person's opinion, but sometimes these projections actually come to the fore. And what have we seen? Cutbacks. BHP Billiton, Baker Hughes, and Halliburton have all reduced their U.S. production in the last few weeks. Netflix. What a story this is. The company is seeing its stock price up 15% in the opening minutes this morning. They're in 50 countries right now. The CEO, Reed Hastings, on the company's earnings and conference call last night, said within 2 years they're looking at 200 countries for Netflix, and they figure to be profitable. So that stock's way up. IBM this morning down 2.5% in the opening trades. Their revenue or sales fell for the 11th quarter in a row, and they're still struggling to figure out where to turn that company around. It was the worst performer in the Dow Industrials in 2014. Ted, back to you.
All right, good stuff. Thank you, Mike. That's our business editor, Mike Epple, reporting this morning. You can hear Mike on 660 News at 26 and 56 after the hour.
This market report is brought to you by RRP, Rapid Response Project, the industry choice for engineering, procurement, and construction management. No matter how big or how small the project, RRP gets it and gets it right.
That's your news to 7:39, -7 still at the airport, heading back to Tara Sloan.